Hello and welcome. This is my second part of the video about Zealand 1985, released in the Third World War system. A game about hypothetical Polish invasion of Denmark during the Cold War. And in the first scenario we played turns 1, 2, 3, and I think in this video we'll play turns 4, 5, 6. So this is scenario 4, and this is the first scenario where Polish player is allowed to use non-Polish sites, other nations of the Warsaw Pact. I have 2 brigades and 1 airborne regiment to use, but it is not that easy as it seems. First of all, we have to pay a number of victory points. For each Soviet unit we have to spend 1 victory point, and for each Eastern Germany unit we have to spend 2 victory points. So using them is pretty hazardous. And that's why I'm not going to use any Soviet landing units. Instead I will use 3 Soviet airborne battalions. And I will use only a part of German units to size this part of the Zealand. Hope they will make it. There is a group, landing group here coming with 2 German battalions. We will see if they will make it. And I have 3 Soviet airborne battalions. They can make their land 1 in each turn. So I hope they will make it. And that's all when it comes to the introductory stuff. Let's go to the turn 1, and we have to make rolls for our landing units. First of all, I have this Soviet airborne battalion, which will land here. So I will make a roll for them, but first thing first, I have to make a rolls for air advantage. In this turn we are using Soviet Air Force instead of Polish Air Force, and the Soviets have 4, while Danes have 2. So red for Soviets, well, this is pretty obvious. And now they have 5 and Danes have 6. So Danes have air advantage. Okay, this is not going to be going well for these poor landing units. So first of all, I have to make a rolls for landing units. First for the flak. Oh, 2 losses. Yes, so they are already eliminated. Okay, that was quick and devastating roll. And now for these 2 landing units. First, for minefields. Okay, they already suffered 2 losses, and because of that I have to replace them with the weaker unit. This is 1 and 2. 1st and 2nd Battalion of 28 Brigade. So I have to take the same counters, but with the weaker statistics. Next, for air attacks, 2 more losses. I wonder if any of them will make it into the Denmark. And finally, for naval attacks. So they are all dead. They didn't even made it into Denmark. So I spent a couple of victory points to get them into the battle, and I lost all of them before they managed even to land. Well, that was quite unfortunate. So that's all for the landing stuff, and now let's go to the land combat. Okay, I think that Paulus have their task much harder now, because they expected that Germans will take all this part of Zealand. And now, well, I still have some Germans in reserve, so maybe next turn, but it will be extremely hazardous now because of the lack of our victory points. Okay, let's go. I will start here. And now they are leaving enemy zone of control and moving 1, 2, let's flip this artillery because I'm going to use it this turn. So Let's make it like this. Now these tanks and these infantry fighting vehicles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. I will place my artillery here. Now this infantry moves here. They are going to hold this flank, and this headquarter, well, let it stay here for a while. I have this tank battalion that I can use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all for the Polish movement. Yes, that's all. So let's go to the Polish combat. I will start attacking here. I have 2, 6 and 9 against 4. So it is 2 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the headquarter, and let me check. Yes, and I have 3 units of the same brigade here in this attack, so I get additional +1. So it was 4 against 9, so it's 2 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the 3 units of the same brigade, and 4 to 1 because of the headquarter. And now it is 3 to 1 because of the star, 2 to 1 because of the fortification, and yes, it is 2 to 1. So let's make a roll. It is 5 in the 2 to 1. I think it is B2, but let me check to make sure. Yes, it is B2 and the dot. So they have to suffer 2 step losses. 1 and 2, because they used star, so they have to suffer a loss as well. And now Paulus have to undergo a morale checks. So first of them, and now this unit, they are all fine. And now here, 6 and 10 against 2. It is 5 to 1, 6 to 1 because of the headquarter, 5 to 1 because of the star, and 4 to 1 because of the fortification. So the odds are 4 to 1 and 9. It is dot B2 and -1. So defender has to retreat 2 losses and suffer 1 step loss. So they are eliminated, because if they would suffer 1 step loss, they are eliminated instantly. And attacker has to undergo morale checks. So 8 and 8, they are fine, so they can move 1 and 1. Alright, that was good. Now here, 3, 5, 6 and 8. 8 against 2 and 2. I will use this artillery. So it is 8 against 4, so it is 2 to 1. 3 to 1 because of the 3 or more units of the same brigade, so it's 3 to 1. 2 to 1 because of the fortification, 1 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 1 to 1 and 5. B1 and the dot. So defender retreats 1 hex, and attacker has to undergo morale checks. 9 and 6. I think they made it, yes. So they are advancing onto this hex. Now here I have 5, and I will use this artillery. So I have 5 plus 3, it is 8. 8 against 3, it is 3 to 1. 4 to 1 because of the headquarter. 3 to 1 because of the fortification, and 2 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 2 to 1 and 9. It is -1 B1. So attacker suffers 1 step loss. So this battalion is done. And defender has to retreat 1 hex. Now here, 6 against 2. And I will use this artillery. So it's 6 against 3. So it's 2 to 1. 3 to 1 because of the hit quarter. 2 to 1 because of the fortification. And I use this Polish artillery as well already. So it is 2 to 1 and 10. It is -1, B1, -1. So each side suffers 1 step loss. And the defender has to retreat 1 hex. So Paulus seems to make an advance. Okay, and since they moved onto the hex which is adjacent to the hex that was hit by nuclear attack, we have to make a roll for them. 3. This is infantry unit. They have to suffer 1 step loss. So they are eliminated. And they couldn't retreat anywhere else because this hex was in the enemy's zone of control. So they had to retreat onto this hex. Now here I have 3 against 5. Wait, why I am even attacking here? They should fortify themselves instead of attacking, because such attack would be pointless. Okay, now here 8, 9 against 4. So it is 2 to 1. 3 to 1 because of the 3 units of the same brigade, so it's 3 to 1. 2 to 1 because of the fortification, and 4 to 1 because of the hit quarter. 3 to 1 because of the fortification, 2 to 1 because of the woods, and 1 to 1 because of the star. So it is 1 to 1 and 5. It is dot and -1. So defender retreats 1 hex and attacker has to undergo morale checks. They are fine. So they are moving here and they are moving there. So that's all for Paulus. Yes, that's all for Paulus. So we made some progress onto the north and we managed to destroy some of the Denmark units, but our landing attempts with our allies failed completely. Okay, time for Danes. I think I will retreat here. Here I'm also moving back. This artillery doesn't have to switch the side to the movement because it is self-propelled artillery. So 1 for leaving enemy zone of control, 2, 3. This one has to switch. So it is 1, 2 for leaving enemy zone of control, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This battalion takes this vacant fortification. This one moves here. These 2 battalions are leaving enemy zone of control. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And now here, I don't have enough strength to attack Paulus here, so maybe I might try my luck somewhere here. This battalion will fortify itself to protect this Danish artillery here in Roskilde. So that's all for Danes. And do I have to attack anywhere? Yes, I have 1 attack here. It is 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 13, 15, 17. It's 17 against 5, so it's 3 to 1. I have no modifiers. And now 2 to 1 for fortification, 1 to 1 because of the fortification in the town, 1 to 2 because of the town, and 1 to 3 because of the headquarter. And Danes will use their air force, all the air force, so they get +2, so they have I mean they have 2 +2 strength points, so it will be 1 to 2. And 7 in the 1 to 2, it is A1, so still attacker has to retreat 1 hex. Okay, so that's all for Danish attacks. Yes, I think I should, instead of trying this failed attack, I should use my artillery for the standalone attack. I think this could be much useful than trying to make this attack when enemy is that strong in defense. So that's all for Danes, and this concludes this turn. We are moving into turn 3. Sorry, into turn 5. Okay, we are starting turn 5, and now I'm going to try to land with one of the Soviet airborne battalion. We will see if I can make it. But first of all, we have to make rolls for air advantage. NATO has 2, Soviets have 4. Okay, this time it is Soviet air victory, so NATO is not going to support their troops, while Soviets can, and I have to make rolls for this airborne battalion. First for flag, 2, no losses, great. Okay, and since these are no losses, they can land safely because Soviets have air advantage. Alright, so that's all for air stuff. We finally have some allied unit here. This might be useful for Paulus. And now let's go to the movement phase. I will continue my attack here, and these tanks will move like that. Sorry, they will move here, it will move there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will try to get rid of this Danish battalion. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how I'm going to attack here. And now there. I have how many strength points I have? I have 5, and they have 4, and I still have 3 here. So I think I will make my attack here, and these tanks will go over there. Okay, that's all. And now these Soviets, they landed, so they have only 2 movement points. So 1, 2. They will take control over this town. And that's all for Paulus. Yes, that's all. We can make attacks. So 2, 4, 6. 6 against 3. It is 3 to 1, and 4 to 1 because of the headquarter. 3 to 1 because of the star, 2 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 2 to 1, and 7 it is B1, and they cannot retreat because all the hexes are in the enemy zone of control, so they have suffered 1 step loss, so they are eliminated. Okay, Poles are taking control over this hex. Now here, 7, 11 against 1, so it's 10 to 1, 9 to 1 because of the fortification. 6, this is B4, so they are eliminated. Okay, finally. Now 3, 5, 6, 8, against 2, and I will use this artillery, so it's against 3. So it is 3, 5, 6, 8 against 3, so it's 3 to 1, 4 to 1, and 5 to 1 because of 3 or more units of the same brigade, so it's 5 to 1, and now 4 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 1. It's 2 to 1, and 6, it is B2. 1, 2, and because it was B2 they have to suffer disorganization check. They made it. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and now here 3, 6, 8 and 10 plus 3, so it's 13, and well, no, I don't need this artillery, I think, so it's 10 against 1. Danes are using their artillery support, so it's 3, so it's 10 against 3, so it's 3 to 1, and now 4 to 1 because of the 3 units of the same division, and 5 to 1 because of the headquarter, and 4 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 4 to 1 and 8. It is B2, and they cannot retreat because these hexes are in enemy zone control, so they are eliminated. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, and my final attack goes here. I will also use my air points. I have 4 air points, so I will use them here. And now I have 4, 8, 9 and 13. 13 against 4, it is 3 to 1. 4 to 1 because of the 3 units of the same division, and 5 to 1 because of the headquarters. So it's 5 to 1 and 4 to 1 because of the star, 3 to 1 because of the woods. It is 9 in the 3 to 1, it is B1. So defender retreats 1 hex only. And I think I will pursue it, but only with these 2 units. This one will remain here. Alright, so that's all for Paulus. Yes, that's all. And now Danes. Danes have a very complicated situation now, because Paulus finally managed to get all their units together and to make the proper strikes that would eliminate a couple of Danish units. So 1, 2, 3. They weren't retreating, as I remember, so they can fortify themselves here. And now I'm not going to make attacks here because, as you remember, all these attacks failed. But instead I will fortify them, and I will use my artillery to make attack on Polish units. I think I will target these tanks. So I have 2, 6, 8. I have no more artillery. Oh yes, I have one more here. So it's 10. So I am firing at them with 10. And I have -2 because -1 because they are in the woods. So I'm using a column of 10 and -1, so I will use a column 7, 8. I will make a roll. And 6. Oh, no good. This is a miss. That was bad. Okay, so that's all for the Danes. I can flip this artillery. And we are moving into turn 6. which is by the way marked as D+8. This means that this is 8th day of the entire war. If there would be more games coming about this 1985 Cold War Goes Hot scenario, and you would like to join them together, then thanks to this turn track with marked with D+1, D+2, D+3, you are allowed to run multiple games together, even if the maps are not fully linked with each other. Okay, so this is the last turn of the game. And now I have to check for Air Force. Now, Danes have 1 and Soviets have 4. Okay, so let's make a roll. Soviets have 8 and Danes have 3. Okay, so Soviets have air advantage. It is pretty obvious. And now I'm not going to make any more landings in this turn, because I spent enough victory points for the failure for the failed landings, and Paulus are doing well so far with their own strength. You may guess what could happen if Paulus wouldn't use these nuclear attacks. There is a scenario where Paulus are not having this atomic support, and then this is definitely much harder for them to gain anything. These nuclear attacks are definitely making the game easier. So let's carry on with this last turn. I will start with Paulus. They are taking these hexes, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will block these Danish units. If they would like to move, they would have to make their way through these hexes, and it would be very risky for them. Now they will attack here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will continue my progress here. These tanks will cover this area. And now, this group. Do I have any use for this group now? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can take this hex, and so I can move these 2 units, and they will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, nope, oh, I made a mistake, sorry, this is mechanized unit, not motorized unit, so it moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one is motorized unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's all for Paulus, and there isn't much attacks, but let's resolve them. These Soviets, they are going to move like that. Oh, maybe, wait a moment, this is infantry unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I will take these two towns, and now 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. 8 against 2, against 3, let's say. It is 8 against 3, so it's 3 to 1. 4 to 1 because of the 3 or more units of the same brigade, so it's 4 to 1. And 3 to 1, 2 to 1 because of the fortification in and woods, so it's 5. 5 in the 3 to 1 is B2 and the dot. So Danes are retreating to hexes, and Paulus they have to undergo morale check. They are fine, and now for Paulus 5 and 10. Yes, they wait a moment, because in this scenario, yes, Paulus are disorganized. They have a lower disorganization point value in this scenario because of the use of nuclear weapons. So 1, 2, they are pursuing, and now here 2, 4, 7, 11, 15, 16 against 4. So it is 4 to 1, 5 to 1 because of the hit quarter, and 4 to 1 because and 5 to 1 because of the three units of the same brigade, and 4 to 1 because of the star. So it is 4 to 1 and 8. B2, yes, B2, and they cannot retreat because this hex and this hex are in the enemy zone of control, so they have to suffer 2 losses. This unit is done, and this unit is one unit is weakened and one unit is destroyed. So that's all for Paulus, and now Danes. Oh wait a moment. I actually can do something else. I didn't use my air force, so I'm going to launch an air attack on this Denmark's artillery with all my 4 points. 6, it is a loss. Okay, and Danes. This unit cannot move, so it is fortified. These Danes are going to... what they are going to do? They are in the woods, so attacking them would be risky. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They are going to move like that. They are defending. And I think that's all. Denmark forces can't do much. So let's check for the Danish attacks. It is 4 and 5, so it's 9. 9 against 2 is 4 to 1, and 5 to 1 because of the 5 to 1, 6 to 1 because of the stars, and 5 to 1 because of the hit quarter. So it is 5 to 1 and 5. It is B3. So defender has to retreat 3 hexes, 1, 2, 3, and undergo 2 morale checks. 1, 2. They are fine. So I hoped that I will be able to make this Polish unit suffer some loss, but I failed. And now I will make my artillery attack with 4, 6, 8, 10, and I will target this Polish artillery. 9, and they are in the town, so I have -1. So I had 10, so I have to move one verse down to the 7, 8, and it was 9. So this is just a disorganization check for Paulus. They made it. Okay, so this concludes the last turn of the battle. And now I have to count victory points to see who won this bloody battle. Okay, Paulus managed to destroy 15 Denmark units, so they get 15 victory points, and they control 3 city hexes, one here, and one there. So it is plus 6. So it is totally of 21, and they get minus 2 for each German unit they used. So it is it is minus 4, and minus 1 for each Soviet unit that they used. So it is also minus 2. So it is 21 minus 6. 21 minus 6 is 15. So this is a number of Polish victory points, and Danes get plus 1 for each enemy unit they destroyed, and there is 9 enemy units destroyed, so they get 9. So it's 15 against 9, so Poles are victorious. But it was, well, much more thanks to the nuclear attacks that wiped important part of the Denmark resistance, along with their headquarters. It was pretty important to destroy this headquarters, because otherwise it would provide a support for most of the units fighting here, and these battles will be definitely harder for Poles to win. So each side suffer a big number of losses, and you can see how risky this operation could be, and luckily it never happened. Luckily it remained in the plans only, but the Polish army trained heavy for this operation for about 30, I think, years. So there was a chance to make it almost till the end of the Cold War, but as you can see, in this scenario, which takes place in the last stage of the Cold War, it was not the chance for Poles to win this battle were at last mixed. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.